This is in Bengaluru, India's garden city as it once used to be known, is now battling for the smallest drops of water. The reservoirs are running dry, the lakes are dangerous, polluted and filthy, and only with very strict rationing the city can just about survive till May. Bengaluru today is a very thirsty city. Pratibha Raman with this disturbing report.
Vijaya, who lives in a joint family of 7 members, gets water 3 days a week. That too through the public tap, which caters to 700 households in Sampani Nagar in central Bengaluru. The water is not fit for drinking.
गंदा पानी बहुत आता है, उसकी वजह से अभी बीमारियां भी उसी वजह से ज्यादा हो रही हैं, तो कुछ बोल नहीं सकते, इसके डेंगू वगैरह भी बहुत ज्यादा फैल रहा है.
The situation is not very different in the more upmarket areas of Bengaluru. Fashion designer Prasad Bidappa says Bengaluru is now a water tanker city.
We run out of water at least once or twice a week. And usually when we know it's going to happen, then we can call the tanker. But sometimes it takes a couple of hours for the tanker to get to us. So we have to manage for 2 or 3 hours without water.
Though the water levels at the KRS dam, the drinking water source for Bengaluru and other parts of southern Karnataka, have fallen to about 88 TMC feet when compared to 105 TMC feet this time last year. Authorities say that the water supply to Bengaluru, Mysuru and Mandya will not be affected. But the reality is that this water reaches only 8 lakh properties of the 22 lakh properties in Bengaluru. And the rest of the state capital depends only on borewells.
Experts blame the unregulated digging of borewells for the problem. There are an estimated 4 lakh borewells in the city and its outskirts.
10 years back, 15 years back, if you dig about 300 feet by borewell, you get water at 300 feet depth. Today you don't get at 300 feet depth, it will take about 1000 feet. And many of them dries up also, the dry borewells are increasing.
Citizens are also to blame, as out of 18 lakh properties in Bengaluru, just about 50,000 have rainwater harvesting structures.
We are facing one of the worst droughts since last 48 years. Drinking water is a very serious problem.
Several experts have warned that half of Bengaluru will have to be evacuated in 10 years because of the water shortage. The summer of 2016 is a warning signal that time is running out for the city. With Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's go straight across to India Today's Pratibha Raman for more on this. Pratibha, what a disturbing report that is. And this is likely to be one of the most deadly summers as far as Bengaluru is concerned. And that water scarcity issue is a real problem. It's not just affecting the underprivileged, it's likely to affect everyone.
Well, in fact, the water crisis that confronts Bangalore needs to be looked at in different angles, mainly because we are talking of reservoirs that have dipping water levels, number one. Number two is when this water is carried across to the different properties in Bengaluru, there is a leakage of at least about 35%. And this Kaveri water would only translate to drinking water in about 45% of Bengaluru, and the remaining of Bengaluru would actually depend on borewells. So the other angle that needs to be looked into is the fact that it is not just about water scarcity that we are talking of, but at least about 50% of both the tap water as well as the borewell water are not potable water that we're talking of. So even the little water that we get is not actually conducive for drinking purposes. So one needs to really look at this, and many of the experts have pointed out that
Yes.
Bengaluru needs to be evacuated in a span of 10 years from now, because the
Yes.
annual growth rate of Bengaluru's population is at the rate of 4%. So one needs to really analyze this in great detail and ensure that such a scarcity wouldn't really happen again, knowing very well that Karnataka is one of the worst drought-hit states.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Pratibha, for getting us the latest on that story. Not everyone's looking at this at this particular crisis in a close way. We here at India Today will always tell you about the stories that really matter. Pratibha, thanks for getting us that update.
Now, Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi might have landed himself in trouble yet again while speaking about fans in India. asked about fans in Mohali before their match with New Zealand on Tuesday.
Go to different villages across India and actually stay there for a month and see the villagers, help them. And what it does is it opens your eyes to a whole new part of India that you never really saw before. So Amrita gives